week 7. What do we got on tap? We got Timmy Westside taking on the comeback kid. Oh no. I just sword myself. Oh fuck. Okay. I if Bootsy fucking crushes me, cut this, clip it right up my fucking hoop. We're back. Let's go. Players, coaches, fans young and old from across the globe, welcome to the Week 7 recap show of the Bigs. As always, I'm your host, I'm your commissioner, I am Timmy Westside, and it is my goddamn honor to be here with you all once again on a Monday, recapping the greatest league in the world. Week 7 in the books. See ya later, warehouse. What did we learn this week, boys? I know classes in session every Monday. You guys are on your seats in your chairs. I'm taking attendance. Present. What did we learn? Well, the King of Jinx is alive and well, claiming his throne. The losers win and the winners lose. And parity. The league is still, we're 7 games in, a lot left to go, but there's parity. Any given Sunday, any day, anytime, anywhere, anyone can beat anyone. That's what we learned most this week. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We're not going to start with the one that I don't want to start with. We're going to start with the Breakfast Club, taking on the Burt Macklin squad. And the Breakfast Club come out on top, 209.2 points, eclipsing that 200 mark over Jacoby, 198.7. Oh, so close. It was a battle of a pair of 500 teams. They were both 3-3. One had to win, one had to lose. Larry Bear comes out on top. They were the highest scoring team in the league this week. There was only 2 teams that had eclipsed the 200-point marker. How do you do it? Timo Meyer, 18.4 points. This guy, all he does is play on shit teams and put up points. I swear. Logan Thompson, 17.5. And Tristan Jarry, 16.2. You know I'm going to talk about it. You see it right there. 2 goalies in his top 3. No McDiddy for the first win ever. His second win, I know you didn't. Yes. Anytime Larry has won, McDavid had been in the driver's seat. Commander, captain of the ship. Not this week. This week, how did he get it done? He got it done by goalies. It was actually a close battle all week. I say that a lot because this league, parity. There were 4 times when either, I think Lair had 2 of them and Jake had 2 of them. They put up 50 burgers in one day. As Jake said early in the week, he had hoped that he'd gained that early ground, that early lead to keep him in front, because he knew on the weekend his team just wasn't quite there. I know the feeling. So big. And Lair took advantage of that down the home stretch. As I said, as his top 3 indicates, Larry's goalies were nearly perfect. And you're going to see in this video, this was a strong goaltending week across the board. -1 team. But even then, we've seen worse. Goalies came into play all week. Larry's goaltenders went 6-1 for 47.7 points. I was going to say, has anyone had a perfect goalie week? I'm going to say yes. We just don't know when it was, because there were 2 teams that had no goalie losses in regulation this week. Nearly perfect. snapping around, highest point total this week, and he has the highest point total in the league. Talk about it. Jacoby, moving on. Tough loss last week, I believe. Yes. This week, you fall again to the Breakfast Club and drop to 3-4 on the week. Tough to get mad. Say it all the time. When I started doing the notes last night, Sunday, you were the second highest scoring team in the league this week. Last minute, the comeback kid took that spot. No spoilers. But 198.7, can't get mad. Once again, just running into a buzz saw. Back-to-back weeks, you lost by basically 10 points. That's got to be tough. Hate to see it. You don't love to it. Goalies, once again, just mention it. Yours were 5 wins, 0 regulation losses, and 1 loss in overtime for a total of 45.7 points. And I was looking, I was like, these two had to be the highest goalie total this week. One guy bested you both. No spoilers. How'd you do it? Your top 3 was Ilya or Igor, Sorokin, Jay Morrissey. I don't even know his name now. Justin? Jacob? You're Jacob. Joffrey Morrissey. 19.8 points. Sorokin had 20.3. And Alex Ovechkin, great to see him top of the leaderboard, even though it's in a loss and it's only 14.0 points. Still great to see him there. Another tough loss, a good battle once again. Still riding you, buddy. No homo. I still believe in your team. You should too. Moving on. 2. Okay, now we got to talk about it. I mean, are we even surprised? The kid's now 2-0 on me. His only 2 wins all season has been against me. Pie on my fucking face. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. The comeback kid, 207.7. Timmy Westside, you stink, 174.8. Bootsy best is me. Best is me. He is the second highest point total of the week. And last week, after his team got roasted, ripped apart, put on blast, bulletin board, commission's not proud of you. In a big spot, his team answers. I don't want to make it a thing because I'm calling out my team this week, and you know the King of Jinx is just gonna reverse the curse. But the 2 teams that I put on blast for 2 weeks in a row have come up in a big spot with a couple of big wins. Just saying. How did Bootsy do it? Well, for his second win of the season, he was led by Justin Robertson. His brother is James. If it's the reverse, fuck you. 24.2 points. Talk about a kid. Highest go-getter in the league this week. Jack Hughes, 20.2 points. You love to see in your top 3 when you got a couple dogs throwing up 20 burgers. You know you're in a good spot. And Brady Tkachuk rounds out your top 3 with 16.5 points. Goalies. You saw last matchup, I said, there's no way anyone's getting more than that. You did, Bootsy. You did. Against me. 6-0-1. 50.2 points by your goaltending squadron. Talk about it. Highest in the league this week. Top to bottom, the whole 180 feet of that ice you covered. Is it 180 feet? Doesn't matter. Could have been the surface area of the moon. Your boys would have been snapping it around out, Gary, getting points and shoving it up my fucking backside. No spit, no loop, sandpaper, fucking finish. You had 4 days of 40 plus points. It snaps your 4-game losing streak. You can only win against me, so that's fucking awesome. It actually was back and forth all week, and you know what I'm going to talk about next. You 3 out of the 4 days ended in a tie. We were saying comes down to Sunday, comes down to Sunday, comes down to Sunday. Well, Timmy Westside didn't even wake up Saturday. Yes, Saturday happened, and listen, I'm kind of laughing it off. I'm 5-2, not a big deal. Terrible, record-breaking performance on Saturday. Into the record books in the worst way. 7.6 points on a Saturday. I did the math. I didn't write it down, but I think my player average on Saturday was like 0.6 points. Couldn't even get a penalty. They just didn't show up. They didn't get out of bed. Sunday? Forget Sunday. Playoffs? The more it dragged out and the more we were just going back and forth, I just knew. I was like, you're going to fucking do it again. I'm going to do it to myself. And then Saturday, you fucking whooped me good. You put up 48.9 points. I put up 7. You do the math. 207.7 minus 174.8. 33. Quick math guy. 33-point difference. Saturday. I just completely no-showed. Hellebuck 17.3 points. Svechnikov 14.0. Jake Ottinger 13.3. Two goalies in the top 3. That's what I base my team on. My guys went 4-2-2. 39.9 points. Let's call it 40 to make myself feel better. No issue. They just didn't go to the rink on Saturday. I don't know what happened. Ran into traffic. Running out of steam. I wrote down, put your team on notice, Tim. You're the worst team in the league this week. 174.8 points. Biggest day of the week. We all know it's Saturday. And you don't even show up. But I'm not putting my team on blast. They don't deserve it, and I don't want to jinx it. But they better fucking show up next week. Moving on to the last game of our week, and it was a rematch of last year's Apollo 420 championship. Borland Backhanders taking on Rubber Puckies. And this time, the Bearded Wonder gets the job done. 193.2 over the Rubber Puckies, 176.5. He's now on a 2-game winning streak, I think. You won last week? 2-game winning streak. And after starting the year 0-3, you've won. Bounce back at 3-4. You're right in the mix. That's what I wrote. Oh my god, I can't read my writing. Doesn't matter. You bounce back from that horrible start. Snap together. Couple wins. 3-4. Right in the mix in this crowded midfield. I call it midfield. However, we're all within 2 games of each other and 3 games of each other. So parity running rampant in this league. I'm getting on a tangent. How'd you do it, Sean? Well, Jimmy Stu, 17.6 points. V Vanacek, I'm not even going to pretend that I know what the V stands for. 16.3. It stands for victory. 16.3 points. And Matt Murray, 15.9. Your goaltending squadron continues to shove it so far up the commissioner's hoop. It should be flagrantly fouled. 2 weeks ago, I questioned you completely. I disassembled your squad, your goalies. I said, what are you doing in that locker room with your goalies with the pillows on their legs? In a big spot, they've answered, and your team has answered. Much like, your goalies went 6-2, 47.6 points. I told you, huge goalie numbers this week. Sorry, Ken. We'll get to you. Kinda hot. No mo. It was very much back and forth, like Chris's and I's game. And your day that changed everything was Tuesday. Tuesday, Connor put up 13 points and Ken put up goose egg. He probably didn't have anyone going. But if you look at your day-to-day breakdown, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The only difference was that Tuesday. And quick math guy again, Ken Dog lost by 17 points. He scratches together anything on Tuesday, he's right there. It could have gone either way. Right. Since starting 0-3, you bounce back at 3-4. You've gone 3-1 in your last 4. Bang. Nailed it on to Ken Dog, who now drops to 4-3 on the year. He's lost 2 out of his last 3, but as I said, crowded midfield, crowded up and down the standings. A lot of game left. His goalies was the least amount this week, least amount of points this week, and we've seen worse. 2 weeks ago, 2 people put up under 10. Ken Dogs went 3-3 for 23.8 points. Not the worst, but Kata, it's not your fault. Hot. You know the reference. Is now 0-2. I think last week he also stunk. They need to get better because I looked at your room. If the Flyers turn into the pumpkin that many thought they would be this year, trouble in that room. I don't know. I'm just saying. Your top 3 were Kaprizov, 21.0 points. My guy from last year. Love that dude. Pascal Duplair, 18 points. And JT Miller, 16.2 points. That's all I've got for you guys today. Let's take a quick look at the standings. As I mentioned, Team West Side. One more thing I want to talk to about Ken. Why did I bring up his goalies? He's actually the lowest goaltending record this year with 22 wins and 20 losses. Something to keep an eye on. Anyways, we're done with last week. We're on to this week, week 8. Timmy Westside sits at 5-2, and then we got 2 squads at 4-3, being the Breakfast Club and Head Rubber Puckies. The Burt Macklin squad, 3-4, alive and well, and Borland Backhanders, big rally, 3-4. And Christoph, as long as he doesn't play anyone else and just beats me, we'll be fine. He's at 2-5. And this week we got the Cousin Bowl. Timmy Westside taking on the Borland Backhanders. The Brother Bowl comeback kid versus Burt Macklin squad. And the faux family cousin combo, whatever you want to call it, bowl. Did that just freeze? Or is that my screen? The Breakfast Club versus the Rubber Puckies. I'm going to end this before it craps out, and I got to do it all over again. We're at 18 minutes and 53 seconds. Boom!